everybody. It's Ambitious Z and I'm back with another video. Today's a nice day and I'm gonna be changing the oil in the CRZ. It's parked over there. This is leaving a little bit. That's just my clutch for the race car. My clutch because of race car. Garage is empty. Gonna do some quick stuff. Don't worry about the noise. That's just, you know, race car noise. Well, anyways, gonna recharge the AC. I think my AC is good, but you know, I'm gonna just recharge it anyways. Okay, just quick update on the situation with the Z and all that. Right now I'm cleaning the garage because it's like dusty as hell and really dirty. Only took out the S2K, so I got the garage right now to myself. So I'm gonna clean it up, tidy up everything before I do the oil change on the CRZ. And for those of you guys that are asking, you know, when I'm gonna install the parts, I'm getting ready, really close to install it, because, like, you know, things change with like track days with the coronavirus. So I think I'm gonna just focus on like installing all those parts. Then I'll hit the track day later on in the end of the year when everything kind of like starts opening up at the final phases, because right now we're in stage 2 and there's like a million stages. So right now I'm gonna just change the oil. I found like 5 quarts of Mobile One Extended Performance in my storage unit, so I got that. Picked up a S2000 oil filter. I use a S2000 oil filter on the Z. Everybody else in the Honda community uses that because it's like a bigger filter, holds more oil, and you know, you could take it as you want if it filters better or not, but I don't mind the extra oil, especially it being supercharged. I don't want to go, you know, low on oil and stall the motor when I'm racing on track. The garage is finally clean after about like 42 years of sweeping all the dust, organize all the tools to the best of my abilities. And now, time to pull the CRZ in and give her an oil change. Let's start the process. First, you're gonna need a jack. CRZ is not too heavy, so we'll use a small jack. I'm gonna jack it on this side, driver's side. You wanna chalk the wheel. So, I'm gonna grab one of these. Put this on the passenger side because I'm gonna be lifting the driver's side. That. Also, I got the car in gear and the e-brakes on, so it's not going anywhere. Get your oil. I'm using Mobile One Extended Performance 0W20 with Mobile One Extended Performance filter, but this is for an S2000, and I recommend the S2000 filter. It's just a better filter. This is the part number. Bam. Bag of tools. Hopefully I have my tools in here. I haven't opened this in a while, but I could just use Tommy's. But you're gonna jack at the jack point under there. Don't fuck up. And from here on, you wanna loosen the oil cap. Come on. Continuing off. Move the oil cap. Place that somewhere and leave that. I did run the car for a little bit, so the car is warm, the oil is warm, so it should come out relatively nice. I'm gonna jack the car up now. Just you don't have to jack the car all the way up. I just like to. And from there on, get a jack stand. Always use the jack stand. It's nice to have one of these. Okay, let's start. We don't need this yet, so put this over to the side, oil filter to the side. Show you guys what I'm working with. Jack still there at the jacking point, but I let it rest on the jack stand under the control arm over there. Now we want to get to the drain plug. Hold up, I gotta remove my hat. Bam! It's right here. Right next to the T-bone. But I think this is a 14 for me anyways, because I don't have a stock one. It's either a 14 or a 17 on Hondas. I have a magnetic one. So I'm gonna get to that. Here's my oil filter, same thing. I have the S1000 on this one. I always use it. But let's go. Let me grab the tools. Definitely need this. So I was right. It's a 14 for my drain plug, because I got the magnetic one. You know, put that on and just break it loose. Boom. Now it's loose. Place that aside. Let's get ready for the freaking fun. Let's see if I can do this without spilling oil on myself, which I highly doubt, because every time I do an oil change, it gets messy. Oh, here it comes. Oh, no, couldn't do it. Oh no, my washer. Let's grab that before I lose that. There we go. Oil's nice and black. But let's see how I do with the oil filter. This is basically what it looks like. I cleaned it before I could record it, but there was like little to no shavings at all, so you know, the motor seems good after all the beatings. It looks like it's about done. I'm gonna lower the car so I could drain it even more. Then let me see if I can get my filter off. I usually over tighten my filter. You know, I'd rather be safe than sorry, because I had a couple of runs where there's vibrated loose from the motor mounts. But let's I don't know about you guys, but this is how I do it. I lower the car. Well, I remove the jack stand and then lower the car, so you can kind of drain while it's leveled. Like a fair amount came out when I lowered it, so I'm waiting till that finish off. And I think I could reach under there and just unscrew the filter. I already broke it loose. I used one of those filter wrench. But yeah, got the filter out. Just a quick reminder to everybody: always double check to see that you have your gasket. Okay. I know some people that will just grab the filter and not like pay it no mind. Then they accidentally double seal the gasket, like the gasket on the new one, then the gasket on the old one still on the block, because sometimes this gets stuck to the block and it's gonna be a shit show. So always double check to see if you got the gasket, and you should be good. Now I'm gonna lube this one up, fill it up with a little bit of oil, and then always ring the gasket with new oil or your old oil. It don't fucking matter as long as it's lubed up. So just dab your finger in here and just get her wet, then put it on. But all right, and piece everything back together. Come on. All right, so I'm stuck. But anyways, get a rag and just wipe around the oil filter. You know, clean up everything. Wipe the spill. Take your drain plug and put it back in. My washer is new, so don't worry about it. I know a lot of people like to replace that like every goddamn time, but mine's still new, it's still good, so I'm good. So you want to put that back on, grab your ratchet, 14 or 17, depending on what you use, and just snug it. Like, that's good for me. I mean, you can always double check. You could follow torque specs if you want to, but I've done oil changes so much on this car that I just know how it feels. So this is good, and when I fill it up with oil and run it, I'll double check to see if there's anything leaking. But now on to the oil filter. Grab the oil filter, new one. Bam. Oh, she looking good. Oh, you see how that oil filter is nice and clean? See how the oil filter gasket is all dry? So, you know, let's place this down on the rag so it doesn't get screwed up. So you want to just take some oil like that and just lubricate it. You don't want to go too crazy. Just enough. Alright, well that's enough. I'm gonna pour some oil into it, not a lot, just enough to have it, you know, lubed. Then I'll put it all good. I wiped it, did a final wipe. Make sure there's no leaks, double check. Oil filter, you wanna just snug it with your hand. You don't wanna go too crazy, but I mean, it's all on preference, what you want. I kinda put my oil filter on the tighter side, like I told you earlier. I have a fear of it vibrating loose because of the stupid motor mounts. But other than that, everything's all good. You know, tighten, double check everything. And just grab your tools and let's put her down. And fill it up with oil. Bam. Clean your dipstick. You know, wipe it down, wipe the cap down if you want. Grab the funnel. Make sure it's like something like this design. It works really good with the CRZ. Check if I need debris, because it's pretty windy. And you know, just put it in. Like so. And that should be good. The only thing that sucks about having the bar is that it's kind of annoying to pour oil. Well, that's good. Make sure everything down there is tight. The filter, I made sure it's tight. The drain plug is tight. So now we grab our oil and just pour. Pour until, I don't know about you guys, but I like to keep mine in between. You're supposed to keep it in between the two dots. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but those two dots. On track day, I usually put it to the second dot because sometimes, you know, better safe than sorry. I'd rather have a lot of oil than no oil while I'm racing. But since I'm not tracking the car today, I'm just gonna put it to this in between, and when I go to a track day, I'll just fill it to the top. But yeah, I'm not gonna show you this step. Just pour the oil in and just put about 4 quarts in it. About. So take the dipstick, put it in the hole, and check the level, and just gauge it from there. Damn it. Almost there. Needs a little bit more. And also remember this, you should double check your oil level after you run the car. And not only that, if you're running the S2000 filter, it's gonna take a little bit more oil because that has a little bit higher capacity than the stock CRZ filter. So expect to add a little bit more oil. But other than that, I'm gonna top it off and I'll start her up. And if you guys can see that, because the freaking oil is so freaking clear and so clean. But it's at the halfway marker. Let's see if we can focus. But yeah, it's at the halfway marker. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but it's there. The oil's just really clean. Oh, there we go. But that's where you want the car to be at. That's like recommended. But like I said, if you're doing track days, just fill it to the top for insurance purposes. And yeah, I'm gonna start this up and it's gonna cycle through the motor. So I'm probably gonna have to add a little bit more oil to keep it in the middle, because it's gonna fill up the crevices of the block and fill up the S2000 filter. But yeah, for the most part, we're done. I got everything over there, cleaned up all the tools, put it away. I'm gonna start up the car and I'll show you guys how to reset the oil light. Hopefully I still remember. Okay. on. You know, always gotta go sport mode. Let's see. Let's go. 40%. Usually hold the reset button that's down here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's pretty dark, but right there. So you go to oil life and you hold it.
Say a command.
Shut up, bitch. Come on. Hold it for a couple seconds. There we go. Then from there on, you just switch up to reset. And you click yes. Boom. Back to 100%. You're all good. Now you can start up the car. Let it idle for a little bit and circulate the oil. Then let it sit for a couple minutes so you can double check the level. Once you do that, you should be all good. And that's basically an oil change on a CRZ.